And
This
I'll
conference
start the
will now
recording.
be recorded.
Okay, I'll just read off the names as I see them on the screen. If you could just mention your name and who you're affiliated with. I'm Brian Doherty with Montachusett Regional Planning Commission. Brian Croto.
Tano Winchendon.
Sarah Canamilla.
Sarah Canamilla, District 2 Projects.
Tyler Godin.
Tyler Godin, MRPC.
Brian Callahan.
Town of Groton, DPW.
Sarah Bradbury.
Sarah Bradbury, MassDOT, District 3.
George Snow. I don't think your microphone's working, George. I see that it's on, but George Snow with MRPC. Sherry Bean.
MRPC.
George Kahali.
George Kahali Mart.
Nick Erickson.
Nick Erickson, Fitchburg, DPW.
And I see Harvard Planning. If you could just put your name in the box. Okay. If you could put your name in the comments, just so we could have it for minutes, that'd be great too. Travis Condon.
Travis Condon, North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce, and I can chair this if the chair is not here if you need.
Oh, great. Thanks, Travis.
No problem. Sorry, it took me a minute to get on with computer issues.
Yeah, no problem. And Travis is our vice chair. Chelsea Patras.
Hi, sorry, Chelsea Patras, China 9.
Janet Tice.
Janet Tice, Shirley Planning Board.
And Thomas Ruda.
This is Tom Ruda, Mass DOT District 2.
All right, thank you. All right, Travis.
All right, thank you. So we're going to move on to the section 2, the public comments. Is there anyone here that has any public comment on business today? All right, I'm not seeing any, so should we move on to the third section? All right, we're going to go with the approval of the March 12th, 2025 minutes. I know these were they should have been in the packet. Yep, and there it is right there. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look at it. Does anybody have any questions or changes or additions? And if not, can we get a motion to accept? So I'll give you guys a second.
So moved, Brian Croto.
All right, and is there a second?
Second, Nick Erickson, Fitchburg.
All right, thank you both. Appreciate it. All right, so we'll be moving on to section 4. That's the FY 2026 to the 2030 TIP, the draft review, and then the recommendations. So I'll turn that.
Yep, and I can take this.
Thank you.
So as we know, we've been working towards the development of the 26 through 30 Transportation Improvement Program over the last several months. We've reviewed the schedule before. We're still on schedule. We have a draft document, a full draft document available. It's actually in the handouts folder. It's like 160 pages long. It's quite long. It's more than just the project list that we've been reviewing in the last few months, but a number of analysis that we're required to have, among other things. So the plan is to bring this before the MPO next week to have them release this for a 21-day public review and comment period, as is federally mandated. It says in our public participation plan. So ultimately, that is the recommendation we'll be looking for from this group to the MPO to release this. But before we do that, I will mention what we ended up with projects. The majority of our discussions in the past several months have been on the highway side, and more specifically on the regional prioritized highway side, where the MPO has discretion over project placement. But the Transportation Improvement Program includes all federally funding projects throughout the region. There's transit projects, which are prioritized by the Regional Transit Authority, MART. And there's also an additional highway section that's prioritized by Mass DOT, which we'll get a chance to review today. First, I'll point out the transit section projects in the handouts. There is a list of these projects that are included in the draft. Basically, all of these projects have some level of federal investment. Again, they're set by the Transit Authority. I won't go over this line by line, but basically it includes the same 5 federal fiscal years, 2026 through 30, and includes a number of things like general operations funds, equipment purchases, facility maintenance and upgrades, vehicle purchases, that type of thing. There's a number of projects you can see in each federal fiscal year. We'd like to send this out for draft public comment period. On the highway side, we have what you see on the screen. It's a little bit different than what we've been looking at. This is the official list that goes into the document. What you see in the first section here, section 1A, regional prioritized projects, these are the projects we've been discussing that the MPO has discretion on placement. The sections below 1A are all state priority projects, so they're set by Mass DOT within our region. So these are also included in the listing in the draft. No real surprise compared to last month. Last month, we discussed some scenarios in relation to these regional prioritized project sections. We went with our preferred scenarios. Again, no major surprises this year. But I will go through year for year here. What we ended up with was in the regional prioritized project section, federal fiscal year 26, Harvard resurfacing box widening on Air Road. That's the only project that we have in that section. For the state priority projects on the highway side, we have Harvard Lancaster bridge replacement, Jackson Road over Nashua River, Fitchburg improvements of Memorial Middle School, Fitchburg Twin Cities Rail Trail construction phase 2. In 2027, we have 3 regional priority projects. The second half of the Harvard resurfacing and box widening on Air Road, along with Ashburnham Road rehab on Route 101, and Clinton construction of Sterling Street, Route 62 from Willow Lawrence Street to Main Street. The state priority sections in 27, we have Athol bridge replacement, Route 2A Main Street over the G&W Railroad, along with Fitchburg Ashby resurfacing and related work on Route 31, Leominster Lancaster pavement preservation related work on Route 2, and Gardner bike path construction, bridge construction on a bike path, North Central Pathway over Route 140. In 28, 3 regional projects, Athol intersection improvements, Route 2A at Brookside Road, Fitchburg reconstruction of John Fitch Highway, and Sterling intersection improvements 140 and 62. The state priorities in 28, Athol Orange bridge replacement, Logan Road over the east branch of the Tully River, Templeton Lancaster guidance sign, traffic sign replacement on a section of Route 2. In 29, for regional projects, we ended up with Templeton reconstruction of 68 from King Philip Trail north to the Phillipston Town line, along with Air Road rehab on Route 2A, 111, Park Street and Main Street, and Athol sidewalk installation along Templeton Road, Winchenden intersection improvements at Blair Square, and 2 state priority projects in 29, Gardner Bridge rehab, Mill Street over Baker Brook, and Lancaster, Leominster interstate maintenance, related work on 190. The final year of this document, 2030, 2 regional priority projects, the second half of the Templeton Route 68 project, along with Westminster Roundabout construction 2A, Bathrick Road, and Depot Road. 1 state priority section project, Peter Sand culvert replacement, New Salem Road over on Nam Brook. So that is ultimately what we ended up with. Again, as for our obligations to set projects in the regional prioritized project section, virtually unchanged from last month. You can see in the handouts, we have the full tip document. We'll be sending that later today to the MPO members for their review. And we'd like to suggest a recommendation to the MPO to release this for its 21-day public comment period.
Thank you, Brian. I'll second it.
So So I didn't make the motion. I'm not a voting member. And we have been doing things through consensus more or less. So that if that is the consensus of the group, I will make mention at the MPO meeting. And of course, if there's any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any time.
Does anybody else from the group have anything to add, or do we have a consensus to move forward?
We can move forward. Brian from Groton.
All right.
Okay, great. I'll make the recommendation. It'll be off a 21-day public comment period. Any comments that are received or review with the JTC at the May meeting, and the goal is to endorse this at the MPO in May. So thank you all for listening to all these tip updates the past several months. So appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. I know it's a lot of work and it's a very thorough draft. So thank you for your time on that. Moving on to section 5, the FY26 United Planning Work Program, the UPWP. We're going to have another draft review followed by another, seeing if there's more consensus for a recommendation on this as well. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Yep. So originally that was the plan. We've been following a similar schedule to the TIP, and this is in regards to our work program as the MPO staff. We've been reviewing this the last few months. Our plan was to release a draft document through the MPO at the April meeting. However, there's some outstanding items that we're waiting for from Federal Transit Administration related to the budget. So we're opting to move this process back 1 month. Last month, I know we had some detailed discussion on some of the individual tasks within this work program, but we're tabling it for now until we get that FTA line item budget. We expect that mid to late April. So again, I think that we'll have some more information in May and go through this process and seek an official recommendation to the MPO at that point. So that's really all I have on that for today.
Okay, Brian, we appreciate the update. And just a reminder, if anyone's mics are on, please try and mute them unless you want to add something. I know it's tough sometimes with different things going on. Number 6, the contract status reports. So we got the Regional Transit Authority. We'll start there, and then we'll move over to MassDOT. And whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I don't have any new update.
Okay, thank you. And let's hear from anything from MassDOT today.
Yep. So this item is related to our MPO staff's contract, 3C Mass DOT joint contract with Federal Highway and FTA and MassDOT. So I have a few things to update on. First off, in regards to these meetings in general, I know we've been bogged up with the TIP and UPWP in recent months. The plan is moving forward to bring some more interesting, relatable information to members that attend these meetings. So I know in the past we've highlighted our housing coordination plan, our climate program that looks at facilities and resilience in the region. So we'll be looking to bring more informative information now that the schedule loosen up a little bit after these federal required documents are out the door. We do have 2 items to share from some of our partners. The first is another notice from Division of Ecological Restoration. This is in relation to they're seeking proposals to remove or replace undersized, perched, or degraded culverts located in areas of high ecological value. There's an application round for this through May 12th. So additional information are within these links in the document. The other item I have is from National Grid's program on vehicle fleet electrification. So this is in regards to National Grid communities. There's a program available to them. Basically, this offers advisory services to those looking to transfer their fleet of municipal vehicles to electric vehicles. There's 2 handouts. There's a lot of information in here. More or less, they will provide custom reports to give communities, an indication of which vehicles they could look for, what makes sense to them, costs and everything like that. So anyone who finds themselves in that category, I encourage you to look at this information if it applies to you. And that's all I have for that.
All right, thank you. Now we'll move on to the administrative matters, which include our next MJTC meeting and then the open meeting law changes.
Okay, I can just discuss the open meeting law changes. I think we all know that the extension of the remote abilities of the open meeting law have been extended again for another 2 years. I had this on the agenda last month. I think we discussed the possibility of having to do this in person again. It seems like we're in the clear for a while, at least. So I just thought I'd mention that. Really appreciate everyone attending these meetings. I know it's not always relevant to what you're doing day to day, but it's important nonetheless. So thank you for that. Our next JTC meeting is tentatively scheduled for May 14th. And again, we'll have that remote at 2:30. And at that meeting, we'll discuss any comments that were received during the tip comment period, assuming that the NPO sent that out for public comment, and also discuss releasing the UPWP for a public comment period.
And can I chime in real quick? Just because MRPC is working so closely with Chana 9 on the revitalization of the Regional Coordinating Council, I think Chelsea wanted to briefly just mention it real quick because we have an upcoming meeting and we wanted to let people know that it's back in action. So I kind of missed the reports to add that there. So just wanted to have Chelsea be able to speak real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yep.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, so we are restarting the Regional Coordinating Council. I hesitate to even say restarting because I don't think the Regional Coordinating Council has met in at least 5 years. And at the time, it was under Mart and staff that isn't at Mart anymore. So we are starting a new Regional Coordinating Council, which I think all of you should have received an invitation to. The first meeting is on Tuesday morning, starting at 8:30. We're aiming to have the meetings be bi-monthly. And so a regional coordinating council, just as a refresher, is aimed toward meeting the needs of our older adult populations, our disability and low income populations, and our veteran populations. And so there will be significant conversation around transportation and various models for those populations, but we will also get into some other livability topics related to housing, healthy aging, etc. The first meeting will really be to have the partners at the table start setting the agenda. And just as an incentive, there is a small pool of funding available for sharing some services. So there will be opportunity for discussing shared service arrangements or opportunities to collaborate with pooling drivers or utilizing vehicles outside of the hours that your town may use them in. And so a little bit of funding available to incentivize those kinds of conversations. Anybody has any questions, let me know. I can put the registration in the chat if you missed it. I will do that.
What's the location of the meeting?
Sorry, the meeting location, it will be at the Montachusett Community College Leominster campus. It's the 3rd floor faculty room, which is set up for hybrid. It's a really nice hybrid setup. So if you can only make it on Zoom, you will have full access, but we welcome people to come in person.
Thank you.
All right, so if we have nothing else, I guess do we move on to the adjournment? If anyone wants to take a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
Chelsea. Perfect, thank you. And Chelsea, just want to say thank you. Looking forward to that meeting next week. I'll second that motion if we need a second. All right, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.